Hello everyone, welcome back to Student Dr. T. If you were not aware, I'm Student Dr. T. Thank you so much for tuning into our second episode after our first episode, where I got a lot of positive feedback and some commentary. One commentary in particular came from a couple pre-med students who said, can you share with us the intricate details of medical school life? Intricate? What do you mean by that? That's why I don't like pre-meds. Seems like a perfectly valid question. I actually think it's a wonderful idea because I think a lot of my experiences can be similar to other graduate schools and professional schools. So, we're gonna start with the very beginning of how I entered into medical school. That feeling of the acceptance, wow. We're just on this high, like, ooh, I'm invincible, I'm so happy, everything's amazing, you know? And then you get to orientation. The orientation was so amazing. I was surrounded by so many amazing students, such an inspirational group of people. You're meeting all these amazing people telling you all these amazing things like, I moved to Indonesia in my years off. I was a pastry chef. I worked at Johns Hopkins for 2 years. And I'm like, I went straight through, but I'm super excited to meet all of you guys. So let's get into what that first class looks like. So this part is a little different, I imagine, because even though a lot of people have these kind of tough introductory courses, there's nothing quite as tough as anatomy. Everyone is in the locker room putting on their scrubs, you know, green, blue. Oh, I'm a surgeon. I look like I just came out the OR. Ooh, I was looking good in my scrubs. You're like, ooh, okay, this is real. I'm about to dissect a formerly alive human being. They tell you to take off the top so you can see the head of the human body. And everyone, well, they're shook. Like, there's no other way to explain it than everyone just being silently shook. Shook. They look like nothing you have seen before. And you kind of go into like this crisis mode of, oh my God, this is what people look like when they die. Oh my God, like there was a very clear definition of life and death, and I'm gonna die, and this is what it looks like to my parents and my grandmother and everyone in my life is, oh my God, this is a very overwhelming experience of what death looks like, right? And some people will have to step out. Some people will stay. I was ready to go. I said, ooh, Dad, medical school isn't working out. I'm ready for you to arrange my marriage now. It's scary, very emotional, and it varies for everybody. So as you have more experience in the lab, you get very used to it. You know, you're very appreciative that someone has donated their body to science, and you are going to get the full knowledge from that body. I felt so blessed that there were people in the world who were donating their bodies to science so that I could learn from them. But I won't be donating my body. One of the first experiences that you get from being in your first class is getting that first exam. And I remember everyone in my class opened up the laptop and said, whew, okay. And you're going. You're marking questions like, I'm gonna go back to it. And then you get to the end of 200 questions, you like bump that. I'm not going back to it. I'm smart enough. You also realize, oh my God, I don't think I did well. And then you go through this whole, oh my God, I am not gonna be a doctor. I'm going to flunk out of medical school and there's no future for me. And then you open your first grade and it wasn't amazing. Well, mine wasn't. But considering you thought you completely bombed it, you did pretty well. So you're chugging along through your classes. You're doing fairly well. I mean, you're passing. You get to a class that is starting to challenge your perception of your own intelligence. For me, that class was physiology. Aww. You thought you were smart. I found it very challenging to do well on those tests. And I was getting very frustrated with myself. I started to realize that I had been attributing a lot of my ability to do well in class with how well I could actually memorize information. I was never really learning things. I was just memorizing how to answer those types of questions. And in graduate school, in medical school, you can't memorize things. Like, it sounds weird because you're memorizing all these facts, but memorizing all those facts is not the answer to the problem. It's basically all these things that can contribute to the problem. That's why I had to start changing how I'm thinking. The fact that I can think through it is way more rewarding than just knowing the answer. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that a lot of your learning styles are going to be tested, you have to understand that your grades are not going to be like bam, bam, A, A, A. Not even B, B, B. And for some of us, not even C, C, C. It's going to be like B, C, D, A. I wouldn't know anything about that. C's. You're never going to always get the grade that you want. Period. And you can't let yourself get down about that, right? I have to bring this up because I think this is one of the most important things to address before you go into graduate school. It is going to get very hard. And not necessarily because the material is that difficult, but because there's so much and the examinations are so frequent that you just feel burnt out. As a first year, I'm cool with people. I love everyone in my class. We're chilling, but they're not like my best friends from back home. When I want to like be quick and talk to my best friend like I did back in college, just go over her dorm room, it's not like that. Right, because in your first year, you cool, you know, but you're not cool with these people. Like, it's gonna take a second for y'all to be cool, you know? In time, you're going to develop relationships that you can rely on for that type of emotional support. But in your first year, it might just feel a little isolating that you have all these emotions and you're just not comfortable or ready to share it with the people around you yet. I'm not about to talk to no strangers about my personal problems. But I was getting kind of lonely. A lot of people in your class are gonna feel the same way you do. Be prepared, recognize when it's happening to you, and do something about it. You can talk to the people in your class. You can talk to the administration. There's no harm in seeking help from a specialist, a therapist. They are there to talk to you. You have to let go of that stigma if one exists, because as you go through this career field, things are just gonna be like this all the time. They're going to be difficult, they're going to be draining, and you have to find a way to talk to someone about it. That was kind of a little serious for a second. Let's get back to the peppy stuff. I know everybody wants to know this, how to maintain a social life. Because from the outside, everyone's like, ooh, medical students, they don't have a life. We're still people, we still gotta have fun. We still gotta keep the things in our life that make us happy. Girl, you remember when, for our path exam, there was this one time where we had a pathology final on Monday and we went to a whole concert in DC the weekend before. The concert, little baby. Reckless. I have to keep up my social interactions to make myself happy. It's hard to keep up with the grind of the coursework. It's difficult, but you have to take time for yourself, which I do. I have to talk to my friends. I have to travel to visit my family. I have to go to events on campus that expand my social network because it's what feeds me. If you're wondering what the intricate life of a medical student is, in a nutshell, medical school is no more than a roller coaster. Bye y'all, see you next time.